Hey guys, GC Ganon here, and welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy I: Dawn of Souls. And I believe this is a new enemy, a Marilith. It's basically a repalette of the cockatrice. I believe they can still stone you. But yeah, you can see I took them out with ease. In the last episode, we obtained the canoe, and now we're in Mount Glug. It is said that the Fiend of Fire rests here. Alright, so let's head down to Basement 3. I think in the last episode I explained a little bit about the lava tiles, but I think it's probably best for me to go into a little bit more detail. I believe here... Yep. Cade's almost dead. I don't know why. Why is it Cade's the one who's always near death? Because he has more HP than I do. Is it just his defense isn't as good because he can only equip, like, armlets? He can't really equip shields. I mean, I could equip shields and armor. Well, some of the heavy armor. But anyway, getting my mind back on track. Really, all that the lava tiles do is, of course, you'll take 1 damage per step you take on any of them. But on the other hand, you don't get any random encounters. So in retrospect, doing random encounters is... The lava tiles are actually really good. I mean, I don't mind sacrificing a little bit of damage just to avoid random encounters like this. I think about 6 minutes into this video, I decided, you know what? This video is actually going to be pretty short, so I'm just going to cut it every 3rd encounter. And I think it's a little bit more effective. I may do that for every other Final Fantasy game onward, like when I do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doing some of them is actually going to be pretty difficult. I mean, once Final Fantasy VI was finished, they pretty much just... how do I put this? They just really stuck with the PlayStation. There really wasn't the Xbox One. Really, the only Xbox One I could think of... The only few Xbox One games I could think of are Type 0 and 15. But in general, what I was hoping was I could figure out to get myself like a PlayStation emulator. And then hopefully I would be able to play 7, 8, 9, whichever ones are on the PlayStation 1. But so far that hasn't really been working. Alright, so this is a new enemy, a Hellhound. Yeah, not that good. I have heard that they are remaking 7. Of course, probably most of you already knew that. So we get the Ice Brand. The Ice Brand is actually a pretty good piece of equipment. Of course, it's basically... I would consider it an ice sword, even though it's probably not. But what it does is... I believe it does bonus damage to anything that's fire. And we get the Flame Shield. Yeah, I can't equip it. Cade can't equip it. Only Camden. Camden can pretty much equip anything. Alright, game, what did I tell you about me using an axe? I said I wasn't going to use one. Yeah, I'm not using it due to accuracy purposes. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with just a sword. Because especially, like in Fire Emblem, I almost never have axes. I usually dedicate like one specific character to an axe. Like for example, in Shadow Dragon, I had Barst, Minerva, and Ugma. But as a primary weapon, Minerva primarily used axes because she had a higher rank in axes, and Barst can only use axes. Ugma, I did spend a little bit of time as a fighter, but I think I only did that because I wanted strength. But usually I prefer swords than lances, then probably bows, and then axes. Mainly just because even though the axes do have high power, their accuracy is usually pretty bad. Unless you're using like a standard iron axe or something like that, or a bronze axe, depending on which game you're playing. I think I may have missed a new enemy. It was, I believe it was the fire lizard, which is basically a repalette of the lizard, slightly stronger. So here I was thinking, like, is there any treasure to find in this dungeon now? I think there's probably like 1 or 2 chests I find in here. I know of at least one. I think I've already gone over fire elementals. Yeah, I have. Yeah, at this point, this is where I'm starting to do every third encounter. These random encounters. Of course, me, I have to heal because Cade's almost dead. Again. So I've been thinking about what my next Fire Emblem related Let's Play should be. And I don't know why. I've been thinking of trying either the original Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and Blade of Light, which was the original, of course, you know, Japanese only. Alright, these are Fire Dragons. The Fire Dragon, if you leave it long enough in the battle, it can be pretty nasty. Like that. But I believe I kill it this turn. Of course, Blizzara, since it's being fire, he sports a weakness. So it shouldn't be that difficult. Yep, we get the Flame Mail. What the Flame Mail does, it does relatively the same thing as the Flame Shield, only the warrior can equip it, as far as I know. And, of course, it raises your resistance to fire attacks. And it actually does raise your evasion by a lot. I mean, 81 evasion. Of course, it also did equip the axe, but as I said, I am not using an axe, and I never will. And we get a knife from these things, which, from the Minotaurs, the knife isn't relatively strong whatsoever. It really only sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm kind of just going over information, especially the fact that I did originally have live commentary for this, but this is post if you couldn't tell. So, that is the boss room, but I'm gonna go explore this place a little bit more, and hopefully find some good treasure. I'm pretty sure we would have found more flame stuff here, but who knows. Fire guy, I guess? Let my blade do the talking. Nothing in here. Most of the rooms you'll find in here have nothing in them, no chests whatsoever. I don't know. I've been very curious, but is it possible for me to actually advance the story? Actually, no, I was gonna say, I've been thinking back to when we were in Elfheim and we were attacking, or when we had to wake up the prince. But anyway, I'm just like, screw it, I'm just gonna fight the boss now. Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find nothing. So, highly recommend you save. Almost like every other fight. And I'm going to, I believe I healed the party. Well, I mean, why would I not? So I use my potions just to save on Aiden's magic, or well, MP. Actually, do I use anything? No, I don't. Okay. So you are the ones who defeated the Fiend of Earth and roused Marilith from her slumber. Okay, for starters, what is that thing? The power of the burning flame is mine, and mine alone. Those who will oppose me shall burn in hellfire. Alright, so it appears we're finally at our second main boss fight against the Fiend of Fire, Marilith. Marilith has an HP of 1,440, an attack of 40, accuracy of 63, defense of 50, agility of 24, intelligence of 32, evasion of 46, and a magic defense of 183. Now normally, she relies on her physical strikes, as she normally hits 6 times per attack, which makes sense because she has 6 arms. She also uses fire magic and other spells like Dark and Hold, and she casts one roughly 37.5% of the time, and her spell cycle is as follows: Fire, Dark, Fire, Dark, Fire, Hold, Fire, and Hold, and I'm not kidding, that is the legitimate order. And now, unlike Lich, she actually has a lot more weaknesses than him. Of course, being fire, she's weak to ice magic, so Blizzara works really well. But she's also susceptible to paralysis, darkness, sleep, silence, confusion, and mind. And also being fire, she resists fire, lightning, stone, and poison attacks. Now it's finally time for the battle strategy. It's recommended to start off with Null Blaze, so you'll be able to resist her fire attacks. And also to start off with Protect, Invis, and Invisara to be safe from her attacks as well, because they can do massive damage, especially if your defense is kinda crappy. Also, if you have obtained any of the flame equipment, any of the chests in the dungeon, which I believe in this fight I have obtained the flame mail and the flame shield, but of course only the warrior can equip those. This fight can be a bit easier because it allows you to resist fire attacks as well, especially for the warrior who's susceptible to magic attacks. Silence can also be used to stop her spells and special abilities, and Slow can weaken her physical attacks, but it's not really necessary to use. And you could also use Confuse and have her waste turns, or use Sleep. However, in the NES and Famicom version, if you are playing that, Marilith will always wake up on the next turn, and plus, as an added bonus for your warrior, or thief if you have one, you can buff up their strength with Temper and Haste, which is actually a really viable strategy if you're willing to use it for it. And finally, her rewards are 3,000 gil, 2,475 XP, and she can potentially drop a golden apple, which is actually really good because it increases your max HP by 10. There is another item that we'll also see later in the game called a silver apple, which does basically the same thing, but it increases your HP by 7. Overall, Marilith is not as hard as Lich, but I just hope you're ready for a lot of fire attacks. Alright, so we encounter our next Fiend, the Fiend of Fire, Marilith. Alright, so of course starting off, I believe I'm thinking about using Haste. Yep, I'm going to be using Haste and Temper to try to buff up Camden as much as I can. And of course I'm going to use Protect. I'm so used to Protera. Or do I use Protect? No, I just use Protect. I thought I knew Protera. Oh well. Yeah, with 6 hits, this Marilith can actually be kind of threatening, especially if your physical defense is pretty bad. So for ones like Aiden and myself, that could be a problem. But knowing me, Cade is the one who's... Of course I fall. I die. Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. I have plenty of Phoenix Downs. Well, first gotta find them. For a second there, I thought I missed them. I first thought I had like 9, but then... Or I had like 1, but I had the Phoenix down. I compel myself to get up. I have 1 HP, so 1 hit. Well, thank the Lord he hit Cade. I'm still wondering about its spell cycle, of why that's the cycle itself. Because it's literally repeating the same spell. Just Fyra, Dark, Fire a Dark, and then it changes to Fire a Hold, Fire a Hold. I mean, it's mainly just a pattern of spells. I mean, sure, you can try and blind us, and it'll make us miss a lot more often. But I mean, we could cure it with Blindna if you have that spell, or eye drops, and Cade dies. Yeah, right now I'm just focused on healing myself. So that was a waste of the haste. I didn't mean that to rhyme. So now I just start casting Blazara. I don't know why I don't use the life spell. Oh wait, I think it's because of the save on MP. Fyra, that can't hurt. Eh. Could have been worse. No, if they attacked right before or after I revived Cade, that would have been kind of funny. And I kill him this time. I kill the final boss. So yet another victory. And with that, we restore the Crystal of Fire. So isn't this like 2 episodes since we fought the first Elemental Fiend? Dang, this is going by fast. I mean, when I cut out random encounters, this game seems to be a lot faster. And so now that we defeated Marilith, the gate to the Hellfire Chasm is open. But we'll be going there much, much later. Cade ends at 1 HP. That's kind of funny. Yeah, here I'm saying we've restored two elemental crystals, and now we need to restore the final 2. Okay, I think I'm saying I'm going to meet you guys outside. Oh wait, no, we have the teleportation, my bad. But still, my point still stands. Marilith is not a hard boss. Especially not as hard as Lich, because you can exploit all of her weaknesses to status alignments and ice magic. Plus, I think Blizzard magic is ice magic is actually stronger than fire and thunder because it's fought at higher levels. So really all I can say, I guess I'll meet you back in town. Or do I actually speed up at all? Nope, wrong way. Yep. I don't think we fought this thing before, but then I realized Cade's on 1 HP. Alright, I'll meet you guys back at Alright, here we are, back at Crescent Lake. So, I literally just stay in the inn to full heal myself. Especially with how much Cade's been cheating death. And then I head to the shop. Of course I'm gonna sell all the crap that I don't need. So I sell the knight's armor, it sells for half. Yeah, the knife is not that strong. I forgot I had 2. Mithril helms, they served me well. Or actually no, I think I keep them for later. So now is the big onslaught. So as you can see, I have a crap ton of money. Call me crazy, but I'm buying as many items as I can. Well, I'm not buying like 99 of everything, but I'm buying a lot of items, so I'm actually prepared back down in the field. I mean, geez, 40 Phoenix Downs. Of course I'm gonna bring that many. Oh, you should see late game. 50 ethers, and I guess I think I'd buy a couple of tents. Yeah, 20. I buy even more. Potions. 45, I think that, yeah, that's 80. But still, you should see late game, like, once I'm about to go take on the final boss, you should see how many items I buy. It's very interesting to see how much
Alright, I think I'm gonna call it quits. Anyways, I hope you guys did all enjoy. Be sure to smash that like button if you did, and if you're new to my channel, also be sure to subscribe. Anyway, see you guys next time.